Now, from a very young age, we were inducted into programs such as DARE, which essentially taught us that drugs are bad, okay? They told us that drugs such as cocaine, ecstasy, and even marijuana would not only ruin our bodies, but our lives as well. Under current United States law, lysergic acid diethylamide, also known as LSD or acid, is currently listed as a Schedule I drug, thereby making it illegal, despite its countless medicinal properties. Now, LSD kind of came into existence almost accidentally. According to a website known as Drug Free World, it was discovered by a scientist by the name of Albert Hofmann, who was a chemist working for Sandoz Pharmaceutical, and he first synthesized the drug in 1938 in Switzerland. He discovered this drug in an attempt for something to be used as a blood stimulant. However, as it wasn't able to be used as a blood stimulant, it was put aside, and further research was done on other materials. However, in 1943, Albert Hofmann accidentally consumed the drug orally and soon found out its psychedelic properties. Now, according to a website known as In the Know Zone, the effects of LSD essentially alters the state of the mind of the user, the perception that the user has of the world and everything around them. According to another website by the name of tripsafe.org, people take it for a multitude of reasons, some being spiritual well-being, experimentation, and personal growth. That same website of In the Know Zone also states that it only takes 25 micrograms, which is less than a grain of salt, to actually produce vivid hallucinations by the drug. Now, the drug can actually have some very medicinal properties outside of its psychedelic nature. Now, according to a website by the name of Psychedelic Times, it actually gives people who are facing terminal illness, such as cancer, who readily face death very soon, it alleviates their fear of it, essentially by the drug having the property of interconnectedness, where it almost erases the boundary between our body and the world around us, and you feel more interconnected with the world around you. Now, according to that same website, it is also 4 times more successful in ending addictions such as alcoholism in users. A scientific website or study by Cambridge.org said that people who actually consumed LSD had higher levels of optimism, openness, creativity, and imagination for the weeks following the use of the drug. According to another website by German Lopez, another article I should say, the drug actually has no form of addictive properties, unlike other things such as tobacco, which are inherently based on that. And LSD can actually overall improve the quality of life of the user. TripSafe.org states that the biggest risk of taking LSD is actually getting fake LSD. So, in 1960, the United States began testing this drug. It tested it on its basis of solving issues such as alcoholism and criminality in people. It was also used by the CIA and many other federal agencies as almost a truth serum, essentially giving them an advantage over their opponents. Now, in 1960, a Harvard professor by the name of Timothy Leary actually advocated for the drug, coining the term tune on, tune in, and drop out. He was a major advocate for the use of the drug and almost inspired an entire generation of people to become users of LSD. It became very popular, and according to Psychedelic Times, LSD became synonymous with hippies and counterculture, which created a very negative stigma in society. By 1967, the drug was officially banned in the United States, and by 1970, the United States passed the Controlled Substances Act under Nixon, which essentially scheduled certain drugs at a certain legality level based on the drug's properties. Schedule 1 being that the drug can actually have abusive properties, and there are no medicinal aspects of the drug itself. From then on, from 1970, the drug was demonized by the media consistently, creating an entire generation which became misinformed about the drug itself. Now, to actually reschedule the drug itself, we can look at something more recently in Nevada which affects us, which is marijuana. Marijuana was scheduled as a Schedule 1. It was scheduled as a Schedule 1 drug under the United States law. However, Wikipedia states that the DEA and the Health and Human Services government organization are actually responsible for the scheduling of these drugs. So through constant use of petition, public support, and policy making by politicians above us, they was actually able to reschedule the drug and be legalized in the state of Nevada and many other states as well. Now, how do we implement the use of LSD in a very safe manner so that it can strictly be used for medicinal properties only? Well, the article by Lopez makes a few great points. He says that only certain designated facilities can be allowed to actually handle the use of LSD, and users will go through an extensive process of training to learn what they're going to experience and how the drug is going to affect them, so that they can erase any fear of having any negative properties of the drug. It will also have constant supervision by a medical supervisor who will overwatch the person undergoing the use of LSD. Now, LSD actually, despite being currently listed as a Schedule I drug in the United States, it actually can be used for countless medicinal properties and therefore should be legalized strictly for those medicinal properties only.